Okay. Let's just see, get this going. Hey, everyone. Happy Monday. This is Ryan and the invisible loft manager, Richard. He'll be sitting down with us here momentarily. Welcome. Whoa, everyone's on tonight. You guys were quick. We had a little bit of a late dinner. We did the salmon on the barbecue, and then we did a risotto. So we finished that up. But welcome to the Michael Peevler. He's on Facebook and he's saying hello. And he's on YouTube and he's saying hello. So we'll say hello to him. Who's your... Why is that like that? What's up? Who's your outdoors? I forget your name. I can't. I know your name, but I can't remember it. Mike Parrish says hello. Can we just leave them? They don't need to go out again. Now let's sit down and let's do this, please. God damn it. It's like a little kid getting them on the bus for school. Drives me nuts. Can we sit down? Now leave that door open, because in 2 seconds we're going to have to open the door to let the dogs in again. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, it's like babysitting a toddler or getting a little kid on the bus. Get him in his outfit on, his jolly jumper. He's got to get Ray on. Ray's coming on. Come on, Ray. Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm trying to move it along.
Move it. They can keep going. What do you think?
They don't want me to start until you sit sit down.
That's it.
Anyways, Michael Peeler says hello. What's the name here? Josh Tribley says, hey, how's it going? Sherry Tracy, hello. Michael Peeler, yes, we are on and we hear you. Jason from BC, hey. How's it going? Hey, we're going to talk tonight. We're going to ask you guys some questions, and you guys give us some answers. And Ray. Always coming up with little moves. We're going to ask you the comments, or the question on this. Good evening, Brian Mansker. Lock Doc, hey. And Scott Parrish, Indiana, representing the chat tonight. Yes. Good evening, Ricky. Glad you could make it. Cheers. Hey, this is a cheers first to Fred. Let's cheers him.
Fred. Who the hell's Fred?
We don't know, but this is for Fred.
Cheers nobody I don't know.
Well, no, Fred, you know Fred.
No,
he knows you.
Fred. I don't know him at all.
Anyways, what are we drinking tonight? I am drinking Sprite. But Sprite's just not the same without Fred's favorite. Gin. Question of the night. Well, we got a few questions for One Loft Racing. What is, for you people, what is the best or what is the most comfortable price for activation? That's a good question. Activating pigeons for a race. Activation. Think about the question. To activate your birds for prize money into a race. What's a good price? Is it $100? Oh, is it $50? Is it $100? Is it $150? Is it $250? Is it $350? Is it $500? Is it $1,000? Think about the question and put your comments in. Ricky, when you hear activation, activating for a race, for prize money, what number is comfortable for you if you were to participate?
Depends how deep your pockets are. Okay? And this is what I look at. There's a lot of people in this world, pockets are so deep. Right? Mm-hmm. They're very cheap. Cheap skates, okay?
Well, everyone has to be cheap. I mean, there's always a budget for people.
Don't ask people. I don't know what people think. I mean, I'm just saying that they're all cheap. Oh. That's it. But they want to have like a surprise.
Here's my question.
Surprise miracle.
Here's my question. And there's more questions. And Scott Parrish, who is that? Okay. Mike Parrish says, how much is the perch fee? Will says, for a team or per bird. Sherry says $250. Brian Mansker says $300. Omar says $100 or $100 to $200. 5 birds for $1,500, says Michael Peevler. The next question I have is, does there have, for a One Loft race, does there have to be prize money? Does there have to be prize money? If
Well,
if a race was run,
there should be prize money because they can fly in their own combines locally, and all they get is a piece of paper saying you won the 320-mile race, a little paper, and that's it. So, really being in a combine situation, you're not really. What are you winning? You're winning against about 98% people that don't really know how to fly
that wasn't the
pigeons.
question I was asking you.
Yeah, you're asking me.
Does a one-off race have to have prize money?
Yes, it should.
No.
Yes.
It should, but does it have to?
Oh, it doesn't have to. You don't even have to have a one-off race. It doesn't have to. No, but the whole thing is to have some prize money. That's the whole deal.
Whole deal.
Right. So I'll put $50 in for prize money. Well, there's no money. The activation is to create prize money. Is that not right?
Right.
Right. So, why are you in the race? That's it. And that's it. What do you want? You want somebody to run the race for you? Cost you $130 to fill up your pickup truck with fuel. Cost you for vaccinations. Cost you for medications.
Activation is not perch fee.
No. Okay. So if they
I'm
don't
just
want
asking.
activation, then what do they want?
No. I'm asking.
Yeah.
Could you
let's
imagine?
Ask the question.
I'm just saying. Imagine a one-off race that you send your birds to. You pay the trainer to train them and work them. 4 races, 8 races, 24 races, but there's no prize money. You just pay the trainer to work them, and you go for ace pigeons with no money. I wonder if that works for people. I wonder if there'll be somebody that would do that if he would get the support.
So, that's like a horse race with no prize money.
Right? Josh Tribley says, keep it under big $1 million races. Keep it under big $1 million races. Okay. If you want to get our email, it's go. I'll post up. You know what I'll do? My email's on this, and I'm going to get back to this. Josh Tribley says 5 birds for a team of 1,500. Okay. Lots of prizes, but smaller amounts. Activation 100 to 200. That sounds pretty good. Let me post. I wanted to post up for our email. I think I got something here with our email. Well, let's just see if I have it. There, our email. Boy, it's on there, but I can't see where it is. Anyways, it's info@fepa.ca. That's info@fepa.ca. Still 3 spots left here on the Pigeon Boss Tour. Guys, we want to sell this out. We want you guys to come on board. 3 spots left for $59,999. You can't go wrong on this one. Hey, if you want to get involved with this trip, 7 people will go. We have 3 spots left. Don't be shy. There's our email. It was on there, but it's info@fepa.ca. Let's see. What else here? I got to get the comments back up. I'm going to enter one one-off race that has no prize money, but they test the birds out to 450 miles. They do give 5 races, and the price per bird is $25 a bird. I think that is a great value.
To get in?
Okay,
a bird?
so let's listen to this. I'm going to enter a one-off race. Let's read it again. That has no prize money, but they test the birds out to 450 miles.
Okay, I got a question right there. Which one is that does 450 miles for young birds? I'd like to know that one.
I like to know that one. I like to know the speeds, and I'm gonna tell you. You know how many young birds are coming back from that?
No, well, this apparently
I don't
sounds
agree
like it's been proven.
And the price is $25 a pigeon.
Wow.
So what our figures were today, what we figured, we were playing around some math. Doesn't work. That guy's $25 perch fee doesn't work.
No, what do you get? That don't work. And number 2, 450 miles for a young bird race.
I think
and how long has this been proven for? That's what I'd like to say. 450 miles. Okay. $25 a bird. I got a feeling this person is dealing with a guy that works for nothing.
Jesus.
And he's lying. Unless he's got 100-mile-an-hour tailwind, maybe.
No.
Okay.
Anyways, that I don't know. Why would he stop at 450 and not go to 525?
Do you know what 450 miles is? Whoever's talking here, do you know what that is? For a yearling,
That's hard.
that's hard, and even for a 2-year-old, that's hard. But you're talking for a young bird that got dropped off at somebody's place in May, and you're going to shoot him for 450 miles in September or October, or when do they do it? I don't know.
Do they wait? Do they wait a whole year? Yeah,
I just think they're dreaming. You know what? I like this. I like to hear about dreams, but for $25 a bird, I can't. I can't even buy a bucket of sand for that to keep the bird dry. You know.
Right.
That's
Okay,
not true.
so hold on. Stan says, if you take in perch fees, the activation should be $250 for individual birds, $1,000 for 5-bird team. $1,000 for a 5-bird team. Now we could say, okay, we got some answers rolling. Jesus is from Mexico City. He's tuning in. Hopefully it's nicer in Mexico than it is here. We're getting some snow. Mike Vanderyak says, less than 10 people on the OLR stats in the U.S. over several years broke even. So many people must be happy without winning money. Well, Mike, take a look at how many people buy lottery tickets. You know, I think the most I've ever won on a lottery ticket is like $10. I see people they're at the gas station dumping money into the scratch tickets. It's incredible. Now, hey, what people want to do with their money is great.
All I'd say is, buddy, there, if he gets a bird in a one-off race for $25 a perch fee,
Grab me your phone.
tell him he can come here and, hey, be the manager here, okay?
So Brian Mansker said the Hove HOOVS one-off race. I want to look it up because I got to see this. Might as well. What else are we going to do? Let's look it up. As I pull it up, the Hove one-off race. First of all, how long has he run? And I don't know. Let's go to home. It's always a Pioneer Club. We got to go to the Pioneer Club to check it out, to get the old stats that we're looking for. Boy, it's a little slow here on the internet. Mexico City, Josh Ribley. I wouldn't be interested in sending young birds that far. I'll be quite honest.
A 450-mile race, for example, in Europe, it's totally banned.
Yeah.
It's illegal. Totally banned. So, a 325-mile young bird race is enough challenge for a young bird. You're going to shoot him to 450. I know it ain't going to work.
Well, it's actually the easiest thing to say. We're going to shoot him to 450 because it rolls off my tongue pretty easy. But when it actually comes down to it, where is this race? Hove's Classic. So Hove's Classic, he took in, what did he take? 19 lofts and 28 birds.
28 birds?
So this poor son of a gun, for 26 pigeons, he's making $25 a bird. You going to take these out to 450 miles?
Has he done it before?
I don't know. Let's look.
26 birds.
I mean, it does sound pretty. And we're not knocking. We're just pulling. Let's look at the archives. So he did it last year. Race 5. How far was it? 343 miles. He had speeds of 1,075.
That's good. So they worked.
He didn't. He had no daybirds. At 350 miles in Texas. If they would have went to 450 miles in Texas, there'd have been no birds.
And the other thing, Texas is what,
Easy.
90% tailwind. But he had a tough day.
He had a tough day.
He had a tough day.
Right.
Yeah.
You got 26 birds out of 44. We're not knocking a guy, but if you get 1,075, you ain't gonna get. You're not getting no day birds at 450.
We figured out it cost you from start to finish just to feed the birds, give them their PMV vaccination, give them some medications, and also give them some training, proper training. It cost you just to manage that pigeon. Forget about my time. Forget about anything about me. Having insurance on the property, running
Okay, yeah,
cameras, etc., shit, my telephone. Forget about all that shit. $38 a bird
For 150 days.
for 150 days to do it from start to finish properly, and that's going out to 325 miles. This guy's going to 350, but he's talking about 450 for $25 a bird.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, but hey, bud, whoever this guy is,
No.
let him do it. He'll smarten up.
Yeah. I don't want to see people dump out $25 a bird when it's pretty tricky. It's tricky.
Cost you
And-
$38 a bird just from start
For
to finish.
for 150 days.
Figure it out. Cost 20 cents a bird to feed a bird per day. That's on my cheap feed. 20 cents a bird.
Okay.
20 oh, what? 20 cents a bird? Well, he's got to be able to do it for $25. I'm sorry. Figure it out. Do it 150 days.
Hold on. Just on the feed, it was $30 for 150 days. It's $30.
Yeah,
At 20 cents. That wasn't grit. We did the math. We were having some fun.
We had some
Okay, let me do some more reading here.
$30 for 150 days on feed. That's feeding a bird 20 cents per day.
Okay, I got to keep reading. Put that down. Okay, Jason Mihalik says, and I'll get to some more comments. I didn't read the last comment.
I'm sorry I delayed you on
No.
the show, by the way, but I
It's
had a
okay.
little bit of problems.
You're here.
You know?
You're here.
I had some
Jason
problems.
says, I think you need to put rules, and who wants to play, they should sign. Rules should sign. I seen Jason, people that write checks, they don't cash. You can get people to sign things.
You know
Anyways.
what a check is.
It's a promise that can't be kept.
There's a couple words
Okay.
for it, but I don't want to say it
Okay,
on the show.
I got another comment. Shane says, Shane Hoffman, Ryan, the best pigeons are created at your own loft. Yes, you need good birds to start with, but I'm not going to lie. The best pigeons I got was given to me. I bred from those pigeons with others that I did buy. So many of these guys sell junk. People got to be careful. I know you can relate to what I am saying. Best wishes, Merry Christmas. Okay, that's a good one. Josh says, some of us only raise certain amounts of birds. I want to send them to win money. Okay. Well, I don't think a one-loft race shouldn't have prize money. I just threw that out there. Josh Tribley says, is it going to be an auction race after the 450?
The 450.
Oh, maybe he's going to auction off the birds. Well, if he takes those young birds to 450, he won't have any to auction.
Well, you could tell he's got how many birds came to his race? 36. He's doing it for $25 a bird.
So,
Like,
Premier League says, the world of one-loft racing is going to no perch fees. U.S. are slow to follow, but it will happen.
but there's going to be some cost involved. You think a guy's going to do it for nothing?
Well, what? No.
Sorry, but what's perch fee?
Okay, wait. Well, what Premier League is saying is the big races, right? The big ones that take in 5,000, 8,000 pigeons. Okay?
Yes.
They're not charging no perch fees. Okay, hold on. So what they're going to do is they're going to bleed out the guys that run 4 or 5 to 1,000 bird teams that take perch fee up front. That's what they're going to try and do.
So they have no perch fee, but they're going to say each bird is $1,500, $2,000 a bird.
No.
No perch fee.
No, they don't do that. You send the birds, when the birds make it to the activation, they activate. Now, I looked at the Thailand Masters race. their activation was 100 kilometers. They trained 19 times, and the activation was 100 kilometers.
Describe to me what perch feet is. What is perch feet?
Perch feet is to work the birds.
Work. Administration.
Whatever bullshit it is.
Yeah, administration.
Okay.
Take your bird in, do this, that. That's perch fee. So now what you're telling me is they're not going to charge no perch fee. So what does that mean?
Well, they're then going to charge a price when it's time to activate of $700 a bird, where 250 of that comes to perch fee.
It's going to be in there.
At the end of the day, you're always going to pay a perch fee.
You are. And I think there should be prize money in a one-off race.
I didn't say that there wasn't.
No, I think it. And I didn't say you should think.
I understand.
I think. Because
we don't need a reason.
Because the good reason is it makes has people thinking to put better birds in the one-loft race. I want to do it. I want to get a better bird in. That's it. So why take away the prize money? It's like running racehorses with no prize money.
Hey, one-loft race pigeons is drive from the loft that races the clubs. Okay, just my opinion. Drive from the one loft races are getting rid of the club racing. I agree with perch feet up front, especially when these two do teams and everything. Activation 250 isn't reasonable. I agree. Matheson to Niagara is 400, and if they fly around the lake, it's 450.
400 miles?
Matheson
to Niagara.
Do you guys even go to Matheson for young birds? I don't even know if you go there. And that's to Niagara. And if they go around the lake, well, they're fucking stupid. Because aren't they supposed to go over the lake? But if they do go around the lake, and they go around the lake, Mike, this way.
It's about
1,500 miles.
Yeah.
1,500. So if they go to, we got to mention that, Mike. If they go to the right of the lake, it's 450. If they go to the left of the lake, they got to go up into Montreal, come back around through Rochester, Albany, honk honk, back around.
But if they go across the lake, it's probably 350 miles.
But at the end of the day, now I can't talk about which way the birds go around the water. We just draw the straight line. It's the pigeons that draw the straight lines we're interested in. But yes, I guess Matheson would be 400 miles, maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
No.
Ian, if you're on, how far is Matheson to you? Because you live right at the armpit there, right at the bottom. Okay, 87. So Premier League's doing some research. So let's see what he says. 87 OLRs in the U.S. and 3 in Canada. And the OLRs all compete for the same customers. Yeah, they do. That's true. Brian Manser, I got 2 day birds at the Sooner Challenge from 400 miles. Okay.
Good.
That's good. 400 miles isn't 450.
You put them to 4 young birds to 450 miles. You put 100 young birds there, and you're going to be lucky to get 5 or 10.
Well, and I did want to see that.
Ever come back?
I did. What race was that again? The Sooner. Where's that one on here? Boy, there's a lot of races. Sooner, San Diego. I don't know why Wind Companion takes down those races after so long. I can't even see it on here. It's a stupid, bloody thing. I would say if 90% of the one-loft races stop flying when it's 1,900 per 10 yards and meters and whatever, and went back to 1,200, they go. All they got to do is go to 300, 325, and they got super races. But they can't do that, eh? You can't do that.
Do you want to know why? Because their grandmothers are still living. That's why. Soon grandma drops dead. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah, I can't even find this dumb thing. Sooner. Oh, there it is. Let's look. Rosedale, cash is king, yes. Michael Peevler says, hey, maybe just flying them in his club, but saying he's a small OLR. Well, there's no club that's taken the young birds that far. I don't think. How do you get into these here? Let's look at results. Let's look at race results. Breeders, gallery, where is this? Races. Jeez, and I thought mine was hard. Oh, I don't want to log in. I just want to look at the results. Results, here we go. Archives. Results. Or maybe they took it down for this year. Let's see. While I bring this up, Ricky is the man.
Archives right here, isn't it? Bottom. There you go.
Oh, he's been doing this for.
That's where it is.
So now he's this year 2023 did 3 races. Are we in 2023?
Yes, we are.
Maybe we're at the Sooner. This says the Sooner. Well, this year at 2023, there's only 3 races.
So where'd he go?
Well, wait a minute. In 2022, he did 416 miles. Okay, let's just take a look here. They were up at 640, and they clocked them at 540. They're flying 1,300. So there's some pretty good birds. Pretty good. I guess he did it. What else? David Tracy. I think 300 miles is far enough for young birds. I think so too. Shane Hoffman. Man, with all your travels, what is the best kept secret a novice can use? What's the best kept secret? Put your birds best kept secret. It's real simple. Be real simple. And stop getting birds from local nobodies. There's a lot of shit, I hate to say it, that should be just beautiful for making sauces and stews and all kinds of stuff. I think a lot of people they're really breeding out of pigeons with zero results.
I wouldn't say that the way you're saying it.
I said it wrong?
Against the birds. Yes, you are saying it.
How should I have said it?
You should say it is the people that have the birds that are giving them away or selling them, they don't work. They don't. It's not the birds so much. Birds would do a hell of a lot better. The guys keeping them would do the work, and they're not doing the work.
100%. Well, yeah, but what's one tip you can give for a novice? I don't know where to start.
Okay, novices don't take birds from guys that don't have results.
Okay.
And you're going to see in a combine of 100 flyers, there's probably only about 3 to 5 guys that really have results. And I'm not talking about winning one race and coming in the top 5 or 10, or he won the race, or he's in the top 5 or 10. I want to see him in every single race. I want to see his name up in there. I want to see it in there. And there's not too many guys that can do that. And then I want to see it in years past. Otherwise, I don't take birds. I don't take birds from guys like that.
What's the not like? Again, they're in this sport.
I want to see him
in this sport, there can't be, because you can have all the money in the world, go out and buy the best pigeons.
Take a look. They got a combine close to us. They got 100 flyers, and you only see 1 or 2 guys or 3 in the top. The rest of them, yeah, you see one guy in there once in a while. He brags to everybody, you know, I was 5th at this race. And then the rest of it is shot. So why would you take birds from a guy like that? How long have you been flying? I've been flying 5 years. Guess what? You're not a pigeon flyer. That's it. Well, you know, I spent a lot of money on pigeons. That doesn't mean you're a pigeon flyer. Okay? But that's what I'm saying.
But what's, like, the one advice is, I can't even tell you what one advice would be, because there's a lot of little advice.
So what's the advice? If you
want
good birds, get it from a guy that's been flying pigeons 30 years and still up in there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's consistently.
But again, you can buy those birds. You can get those birds for free.
But then if you're not the man to work with them,
Then it's
it.
all for nothing.
You can go and spend a lot of money on a Jimi Hendrix guitar. Doesn't mean you're
Yeah.
going to play the damn thing or what. I know guys that can drive. They drive a beat up Toyota and they can blow the doors off a guy that spent $500,000 on a Ferrari. Why? Because he knows how to drive it. And if you don't know how to drive it, you have to take time to learn how to drive it.
Okay.
That's what it is. That's what I'm saying. My best advice, take time to learn how to drive it. My second advice is, don't shoot this so much. Listen to people.
Oh.
Listen and learn.
Oh, and,
That's my best advice.
and just try and listen to the guys that are right at the top. Everybody below the top, everybody below those 3 or 4 guys, the rest of them, you just say have a beer with them and that's it. Because what'll happen is they scramble your brain.
Your best bet to say is, oh yeah.
Okay. Michael Peeler says there's 4 or 5 new ones in the U.S. this year. I think this year in the U.S. there should be close to 25 new ones. If you got a loft, you can have a 1 loft race. It's easy. Will says, what were you thinking in this race? What was I thinking in which race?
I think the one you just looked up.
Scott Parrish. The Sooners sent 150 birds to 400 miles and had 39 daybirds. Okay. That's pretty good. In the U.S., the OLRs that change a perch fee pay out near 100% of the entry fees. The lofts that change no perch fees take a percentage of the entry fees. Right. Well, what it is if you build a big loft, you can build a big loft. I mean, it's not that bad to build one. You charge no perch fees. You take them in. But I do find it very, very, very funny how many of them that are charging almost no perch fees, it's once the birds activate, they really seem to disappear. That's an amazing feat. And I'm telling you, when you get birds to 2 hours on the wing, which is 100 miles activation, which is roughly 100 miles. When they're 2 hours on the wing, those birds should be pretty darn good until you hit them over 225, 275. The crack you should see cracks at that point. But it is funny how after 100-mile activations, normally the next time out, there's 400 disappear, 300 disappear, 800 disappear. Well, but hey, we're just looking. Hell, I can show you can lose them right at the school.
Easy.
But again, I think a bullshitter would just kept them and make it look until it's 100 miles. But we're not that way. Rosedale, think I need one of those hoodies Ricky is wearing. It's a nice hoodie. I think we have some. We're selling them. I don't know. I think they're $30 a hoodie.
Oh yeah, good material.
Yeah, they're nice. Shane Hoffman says, is it feeding, technique, loft flying, or something? Well, you have to have all of them right. And this is what we say. I can't give you one advice because it's not one thing that will make you win. It won't. You have to learn all the little things. And then to top it off, when you've learned all those little things, you then have to have the key point to be ruthless. And you have to be able to look and say, oh, I'm going to fly all 8 races of a young bird season. Oh, the pigeon that's won 3 races in a row, I'm going to fly him the 4th race, the 5th race, the 6th race. You're going to fly him for 3 years. There's so many little things.
The other thing, little things, is you have to learn to listen and pick out things that mean something to you. For example, the Belgium down there, wherever he was from, the car salesman, he said, I had an auction, and he said, I have this hen here. She's up for sale. The nest mate, I don't have it. When I was feeding, I stepped on its head.
Okay.
Okay, what does that tell you? It tells you something. If you know what you're listening to, it does tell you something,
Okay.
right?
So
I'm just saying little things that if you have to learn to identify what you're listening to.
right. Oh, okay. So
Right.
next thing, Shane Hoffman says, Stan says, to his place in Grimsby. He lives in Grimsby, Stan, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's.
It's 592 kilometers from Matheson. How far is that?
So 600 kilometers would be 360 miles.
Okay, so he's 360.
He's
miles,
about 360.
right? So yeah, Ian would be pretty much at 400, maybe.
Pretty close to 400.
I wonder if the Youngbirds fly to Matheson. I don't know if they do. Rosedale, spend as much time as you can with the birds and watch their results. Okay. Shane says, what's the percentages? Recover. Hold on. What's the percentages of buying high dollar birds and getting results? Well, I can tell you right now, this is a real stupid thing. If I go out and buy a Ferrari, I can drive it downtown and I can drive it back. I can drive it 300 miles north and I can drive it back. And I can take that Ferrari over to Molsport and I can put it on the track. And there's going to be Mario Andretti there.
Driving a Toyota.
He's driving a little BMW. And I'll go around the track and he'll go around in his little BMW and he'll be smoking it. He'd probably beat me in it. And I'll say to him, man, my car's faster, it's better, it's this and that. Then he'll get in the same car. And if it takes me 2 minutes to go around the track, he's going to do it in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Because he knows how to take the car to the edge.
Because he learned. He didn't start driving yesterday.
In the same token, you have to look at what bird you're buying. And to say, I bought the bird from this one loft race. It's the ace pigeon. It's the best pigeon. That's very good. But that pigeon's not going to get you where you really want to go. And I'm using it as a one loft. I want to see pigeons with results on all the generations. As many generations as that pedigree shows, I want to see wins. Top result pigeons. Because the more results, the better. The more results, the better. Now, if it's a one loft bird and it's a winner, and the parents want a one loft, mother want a one loft, and the grandparents want one loft, okay, great. There you go. You want to try it? Go ahead. But you have to ask yourself, did I spend a lot of money and did I get bang for my buck? Did I get real result pigeons? Or are they just... It's like when you go and buy Dennis Sapan pigeons, they're unbelievable. They're loaded with results. And I think that's why people have luck with them. But that's why he has luck with them.
The way I look at it is...
And I'm using Dennis as a guy.
Proven stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Years of proven product. Take a look at the pedigree and say, oh, that grandparents, whatever. It's all proven stock. And you pay better money for that. When, even if you're a nobody starting off, you're going to take that pigeon home and a pair of pigeons maybe you're going to buy. And you're going to say, you know, I spent a lot of money on these pigeons. I'm going to work hard to make this work. But if you don't spend much money on pigeons, guy said, I'll give you 20, another one I'll give you whatever. Go to the market, pick them up for $5 a piece, a nice blue one, a nice red one, a nice green one. And you take it home, you don't really give a shit. You just, you know, if you got a partner, you say to your partner, I just pick them up for free. I don't care. But if you say to your partner, I just spent $5,000 on a pair of pigeons, I'm going to make sure I give my best to make them work. Now,
Okay.
your best is usually about 38 or 40 hours a week if you want to really make it work. And 38, 40 hours a week You have to do it properly. Like Bud says, don't leave one stone unturned. If you do, you're not going to beat the guy that turns all the stones over. But that's your job to find out why.
What stones
That's
to turn?
Why? What
Okay.
happened here? You know,
I got-
this is
I
what
got
you
more-
got to find out, right?
I got more comments.
Right, okay.
Kristen Houchkin Tech, that's a tricky name, says, as a novice, I got my first pigeons in September. Thanks. Most of us can't see race results or anything we don't know. Yeah, okay. Oh, most of us can't see race.
That's right. If he doesn't, I think he's saying if he doesn't understand, you know, it's like it could be because he just started off with birds, right? Is that what he's saying? It's hard. Yeah, you just don't expect this to come overnight. Don't expect it to come overnight. Like I told you in many shows before, a guy locally got a bird give it to him from a guy that's been in a pigeons 30 years, and he got a bird give it to him, and it's got respiratory, it's got a bad back, it's right. Okay, now either the guy that's had the birds 30 years, he didn't learn. Okay, he sat stupid for 30 years, so you got to figure that out. This guy is stupid. He's spun pigeons 30 years. He still could be stupid. He didn't learn nothing. And he's giving birds to another guy that's starting off where that bird should have been eliminated.
Okay,
Right.
but now Kristen says, I was lucky to get some great pigeons, but honestly, I don't know enough to know how lucky I was. But my question is, and we can go back to this again and say, if you got pigeons in September, right? You got your first pigeons in September. You don't even know if you got good birds, if you got lucky, if you didn't get lucky, but you have birds. You have birds. I don't know. How lucky you were. I don't understand this.
We don't know. We don't know what kind of loft you have. We don't know your ventilation. That I know guys that got good birds. They spend good money. They took them home and they put a pair of pigeons in a hamster cage and tried to friggin' breed out of like. Okay, wait a minute. You know how much I spent on these pigeons? I spent $12,000, and now the stupid things don't breed. What? Well, where have you got them? Well, I had them in a beautiful hamster cage. No, what do you? I mean, you gotta learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not correct?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, you have to learn.
You gotta learn.
You gotta learn. You know, you got good pigeons, yeah, but we don't know what you are. We don't know how good you are. How good are the pigeons? The pigeons are good. How good are you? What do you do? What do you put them in? Like, how have you got them? That's it. Where does it start? That's how we start. So you take a guy like me, and I come over and I take a couple of looks in a couple seconds. I say, oh my God, you got this wrong, this wrong. You can't breed them in a potato sack, okay? You got to do this, you got to do this, got to do this. This is what you got to do, right? And it's, you know, how good are the pigeons? You thought they were good. Who are they from?
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of things. But again, yeah, you're going to make your decisions on how good your pigeons were after you've tried them. Learning how to feed is key, says Josh. Yeah, I think feeding is a trick. The new breeders need to learn how to keep pigeons healthy. I think that's a secret. Yes, I think so too. Shane, well, absolutely. You got to be able to feed and breed. Understand, thanks. Yes.
I think my statement is you first must learn to become a pigeon keeper.
Yep.
And then you move on. A pigeon keeper, right? Then you move on. But
Okay. I think the Pioneer needs an international. Oh, I don't know about that. That could be tricky. The pricing for races. Okay. Will, I don't know what you're asking me there. The best bet, you buy pigeons from Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. They are extremely extra mile to bring us the best. Oh, thank you from Hawaii. Hey, congratulations there. You're on the first drop at the Black Gold race. And you got your second bird, I see, 14 minutes after. Fairly easy race for the first one, but that was okay. Shane says he definitely needs to find the best. Yep. Henry. Oh, Henry, you got to come get your bird. I would rather pay all the costs once, like you did 2 years ago. So much per team. I always think that's good. Again, you have to price it out. I mean, is what's the price for a team? Is it $1,500 for 5 birds? You get so much prize money up front. You can do that.
What we figure out, what does it cost?
Oh,
A fellow or a person that has pigeons and they want to fly competitively in a combine. We figured from start to finish, it costs over $6,000.
right.
If start to finish, get up in training, feeding, all this stuff.
And the best of everything.
Over $6,000
Without buying birds.
with your team.
Yeah.
And then that's your team.
You're gonna win
Then,
nothing.
If you win in your club, you get a thank you very much. Or if you win too much in your club, you get a dirty look.
Question.
And they tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Move on from that.
Next thing, right? Or if you win
Okay,
in the
I don't
combine-
care.
No, I'm just saying. What do you get? You get a.
You're gonna dump $6,000 out to win fuck all nothing but a piece of
You
paper.
don't need to holler at
Well,
me.
I'm not, but I'm saying we're going around and around on it.
No, but this is what
I get
we're
it.
talking about.
But I
Like
just
Henry
told you.
Said,
Right.
what do you get for $1,500?
Okay. I'm not even talking about $1,500. I'm just trying to throw out more comments.
You get a one-off race that does work
Okay.
fairly.
I don't know. I didn't say $1,500.
No, $2,000.
$10,000.
$3,000.
$8,000.
No,
Whatever.
no.
Can I just get on with the comments?
Right.
Thank you.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
No, it's not unbelievable. I'm just saying, $6,000 over to do it properly, and you got to be up every morning, and you got to be there every evening.
Can I get back to the comments?
Right. This is my comment.
Right. Okay, but I'm trying to read
wanna
the
hear
comments.
some more?
No, I heard enough.
Right.
So my next question, and I'll throw this out, is what is a fair number of birds for a team? Should a team be 3 birds, 5 birds?
You mean in a one-off race?
Yeah, if you said, oh, we want to pay for a team of birds. We looked and said, hey, is 10 birds a good size? Is 15 birds too big? Is 3 birds too small? What's the size of a team?
I say 8 birds is beautiful.
You say 8.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Post in the
That
comments.
way it gives you a chance. If you lose a few, whatever, you're still in there, right? Some guys have great luck. They put 1 bird in and it goes the whole way. We had a few people like that in the last few years. They were very lucky.
When is the Pioneer taking in birds this year? We're still working on all that. It will only be for 2 weeks, and it'll be the last week of April and the first week of May. I do think you are a very wise pigeon dude, along with your father. It takes years of understanding and feeding, and properly. Trust me, it takes a lot. Mike Vanderyak says, if I sell 1 club mate to a young bird kit for $100 and a different club mate, a young bird, for $1,000, will the second fellow win 10 times more?
Well, what he's saying is, if you charge more to the second guy, will he win more?
Listen.
But how many young birds?
Listen.
If you raise 3 pair of youngsters, what do you have left at the end of the year if you push them as youngsters to the end of the year? Maybe you have 2, maybe you have 3. Okay, then those youngsters, how many of those 2 or 3 make it to 4 years on an old bird season?
Yeah,
But I think what Mike's saying is, if you give a guy a bird for $100 or give a guy a bird for $1,000, you expect a $1,000 bird to do better?
no.
I think that's what Mike's saying.
You can, but I'm saying you
don't.
can watch people buy pigeons, and I've seen people buy pigeons. The guy that paid I don't know, a big whack of money for pigeons and put them in a rabbit cage until the cock killed the hen. Had all the money in the world. Cock killed the hen. Not a pigeon man. Those 2 pigeons, there will never be a result from them. Not because the pigeons were no good, because the man was no good. So Mike, we could give each guy in the club, you give everybody in your club $1,000 pigeon. But give Ian Sybil the $100 one. My bet will be on him. Because I know he knows how to tune the car up. That will be my pick. And I'm using that as if you give the pigeon to a pigeon man that's real, and you say to him, you go and play with it. If you lose it, you lose it. If you don't, you don't. But you play it the same way you play your own, that's your best bet. But spending money, if you don't know what you're doing, you're just spending money. That's it.
That's right.
Best pigeons are the ones you follow and understand. Michael Peevler, there will be a big new OLR in Europe next year. I'm sure there will be. Mike Vaniak, race cars have a set value. Pigeons are only worth what someone wants to pay.
Well, you know what?
I don't know.
What I'm saying, what about racehorses? I know a fella that has stud racehorses down in Kentucky. He charges $250,000 a stud fee. To bring the mare over, it has to be witnessed.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm
But
thinking, like right now, to me, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't pay for that for nothing because I'm not a racehorse man. But a pigeon man, they have a certain value for their birds, and that value was created by hard work and experience.
Okay,
So if you want my pigeon, it's 70,000 euros. Why? Because of my work, my experience. You'll see it in all my results. This is why it's worth it. Right.
Okay.
You know, so like Mike said, well, pigeon's not worth that. Yes, it is worth it.
Okay, so Little Loft on the Hill says, treat each pigeon like they cost $15,000.
That's
Well,
right.
I don't know.
I think it's right.
Sure, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why not 20,000?
Well, he's saying have value for every pigeon, but the pigeon has to have value in the work that you do for it.
If you give the bird $15,000 worth of care and love and put your 100% into it,
you'll find out what shit you have.
and the damn shit don't give it the gears.
That's it.
Then guess what it is? It's going to be a $15,000 soup.
Well,
you have to be able to do that,
he
though.
didn't pay that money.
No,
He said,
I'm not saying that. But you have to be able to say to yourself that this horse.
you have to.
But then you have to say to yourself the same way. Is it me or is it the horse? That's tricky.
You have to have the money to run the horse. You have to do it right.
Okay.
George McGoffin, he works for Frank Stronach. Frank raises, get this one, 200 young horses a year, race horses a year. At the end of the year, okay, or a season, there's only 4 horses out of 200 race horses, and this guy spends money. Stronach, there's only 4 that are any good.
Right.
And
But Stronach, what you're not remembering, he's done this for a long time. So he's looking for the 1%, right? Now, you take a guy that's a little less experienced, he's going to keep 25 of them. But Stronach, through his years of learning, has said, I'm only looking for the 1%. Anyways.
That's right. He's looking for 2%.
2%, 1%, a half a percent.
And that's what you have to look at when you start flying your pigeons. And the idea is if you're starting off, you're better off if you're flying them in a club or a combine. Fly your pigeons, first of all, against each other at home. And make a program for those pigeons that you're flying at home first. And say, if you guys, as flying you on the combine, if you guys can't, certain ones are coming. You say, believe it or not, it's that blue pied comes again. That blue pied comes again.
Right.
Okay.
Can I keep
the rest
going?
of them? You know what I mean? So finally, at the end of the year, you're going to go, oh well,
It's tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. Shane says, I've had birds since I was 12. I am 52. I am learning something new all the time, even just feeling the birds. The clean wattles and is a super indicator to me of clean throats. Yeah. Always the wattles want to look like light bulbs.
Respiratory's good.
That means you don't have a problem. Kristen says, I wouldn't even have known where to look at race results as an example, so most novices don't know who is good. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you're getting into it, and I'm using this to Kristen, I want to cook, or I look and try and do research to find out the right recipes or find out the right stovetop or to cook where or the knives. You got to do your research.
Yeah, but I don't think he asked that question.
No,
he said if he's looking, he doesn't know where to look for results. Well, you just look at the combine results.
But they're saying you don't know where to look, and I understand
if you're in a
that.
club or a combine, it shows right there.
Right, but if they don't know where the club or the combine is, you have to do some research to find this shit out.
He's not in the club yet. Oh, okay.
Anyways, but you get hey, knowledge is power. So the more research you do, you're going to get smarter at it. You're going to see who's better.
And research in what way are you talking?
Do research. Find out. Where's their club? Where's their combine? This is a club. Do they have a combine? Do they have a federation? You know? Again, you look at clubs and combines. For instance, the club and combine in this area here, they got 100 members, 1,200, 1,400 birds. Whoopity do, right? Look in the UK. They're flying 5,000 birds. Look in Mexico. They're flying 30,000 birds. Look there. Different sizes. The more birds, more competition, better pigeons. Antonio says you have to hold your pigeons to the same standard as you hold the guys at the top that are at the top. Lots of cruels, no matter how much you pay. You can buy expensive pigeons and they won't give you a result. You can buy expensive pigeons, expect a result, get no result, get rid of the expensive pigeons, keep the children, and then the children breed you winners. And you know what you just learned on that one? Whoops. It skipped a generation. Made that mistake before. How do you learn from that mistake?
Be fair to the birds that you bought.
That's right.
Be fair.
Two or three seasons of breeding and you will know. And remember, 2 or 3 seasons of breeding, breed out of those children from them.
I know people that bought great birds. They put them in their section. They said, oh, well, he went in the nest box, that cockbird, and he destroyed this nest, destroyed that nest, is a super pigeon. I had to knock him off. That don't make sense to me. Okay? That doesn't make sense to me.
Don't make sense to me.
No. I sold a guy a bird, a late bred, took it next year. He said, oh, I got great young ones out of that. Yeah, great young ones. Really happy with those young ones I got out of that bird. Yeah, fine. I talked to him a year after. I said, how's that cock doing? Oh, I killed it. I said, why? Oh, it went, was in the box or threw birds off their perch. It did. This Van Riet cock, and Van Riet cocks are known to be fighters. They don't give up. They're fighters. And they were, basically the family was created to be that way. Okay? I said, you know what you did? You just knocked off a pigeon with a great background characteristic. In the background, Stefan Reed, if a pigeon wouldn't do that, but he said, you're not a mile off. You got to have the strength. But I'm saying this guy, because he doesn't know, he thought this pigeon should be eliminated.
He had tipplers for 20 years, but he had racing pigeons for 3 years. So he's had pigeons for a total of 0 years. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you have pigeons. Hey, how many guys you know? We talk about our buddy there, Len Briggs. He likes to drink. He's had pigeons for 30 years.
It doesn't mean he likes to drink.
He likes to eat chicken dinners and have a good time.
Ice cream.
But what I'm saying is, He has pigeons. He's a
Right.
pigeon keeper.
Keep
But he's not a pigeon racer. There's those kind. Anyways. Guy says, Cardell, why is there no vaccines here in Canada? Because Canada is lost.
I don't know why they don't. I think it's because
It's the government.
and the veterinary association.
They want you to vaccinate with
They-
chicken vaccine.
They want to stop privatized business. They want to stop that.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I should be nicer to newbies. I'm nice to new. Wait a minute. I'm nice to newbies. I'm nice to everyone that comes in. We're talking pigeons here. I'm not going to sugarcoat and kiss ass and this and that. I'm just not doing it. We're having a conversation. A newbie. I told the guy that killed the Van Rieck cock he was a newbie. Told him you shouldn't have done that. He doesn't listen. Don't listen. You know what? He's telling me. I'm sorry, but I don't need to be told. So I'm talking to the new people here. You got to do your research to find results.
That's right.
Well, when you go and buy a car, look at, I've never bought a Tesla. I know nothing about electronic cars. Do I listen to this guy or do I do some research? Find out if they're good or not. I'm going to do some research. But I guess, got to be a bit nicer. Okay.
All I'm saying
I don't
is,
know.
newbies, when you put your skates on the ice, get ready to fall. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now. You better not lean backwards too much, newbie, or you're going to fall
Hold
on
on.
your ass.
Hold on.
So keep ahead, bend your legs. Newbie, if you don't listen to me, stupid, you're going to fall. You better take my advice. That's
Hold on.
it.
Now, Premier League says, I have a different opinion to Ryan. I would not invest a lot of money in unflown pigeons. I don't know. Aren't we on the same page here?
Yeah,
I have a different opinion to Ryan. I would not invest in a lot of money in unflown pigeons.
so what he's saying is he would like to go to somebody like Emile Dennis. Emile Dennis has a cockbird that won him Barcelona twice and another one 3 times against thousands of birds, and would like to say, Emile Dennis may say, I have a youngster right off this cock. I want 2,000 euros for it. And I think what he's saying is the youngster has not been flown.
Right.
So
Okay,
I
so-
won't buy that because it's not
So-
flown.
so-
So why don't you buy the bird direct for 70,000 euros? You got the
Oh,
money.
wait,
buy it.
hold on. But maybe he's not saying that.
No, that's what he's saying.
Okay.
He
well,
wouldn't
yeah.
buy an unflown pigeon. In other words, a youngster
But-
or a grandchild
I
of a pigeon
I don't
that has never been flown, right? It depends on how much money you have, right?
I don't know.
Well, that's what he's saying.
I got, yeah.
He's got lots of money. So
No,
he
well,
would-
maybe, no. I think that's what he's saying. Let's see. Michael Peeler says a 6-pack. That's for beers. We know that. Mike Vanderyak says a 5-bird team. A 5-bird team. Will says a 10-bird team is fair. Maybe a 6-bird team. Good evening to all, Mike Green. Premier League, yeah, I have been doing my best to catch up all the knowledge I need, but there isn't a lot of socializing in clubs. Well, there's never going to be socializing in clubs because club people are a lot of the time, very, very, people are jealous, people are shy, and it's a very tricky thing.
Yeah,
in clubs.
Some people say too much.
Yeah.
They shoot.
Bullshit. They shoot shit they don't even
shoot
know.
Shit.
Well, hey, prime example, we did talk about that cock there, the guy went and killed.
Yeah.
If the newbie here, Kristen, if she gets in that club and talks to that guy, what will happen? He will tell her to kill all those birds.
That's right.
Right, and I don't think that's right. But that's bad information. If you want me to give you good information, what you want to learn, you watch, I'll say, our loft tours that we do of breeders. And pick out the same shit each one does. There's stuff that each one does. And then when you go and talk to the best people in your area, the guys that are at the top, find out what same stuff they all do. Follow along that. Now, if you want to win young bird races and you're talking to a bunch of guys that fly old birds and not interested in young birds, you're going to have a different answers. Some things are going to be different.
You might be talking to a fella in your club and he wins every single race in your club. But in the combine, he's way off. Like, way out of there.
Okay.
Okay? So, it's like...
We're getting good comments here, too.
Yeah. So, I'm just saying, it does,
Hey, and you know what? If you're not sure about a guy and how good he is, ask him, and ask all the guys the same questions. It's going to take you a little while. See what answers you get that are the same.
How many where do you finish in your combine, in your results? Are you in the top 10%? And I know it's a little bit hard for a beginner to say that. It's very hard because they're going to look at you and say, who the hell are you? It's like Buddy that got the bird over there I told you about.
Okay.
He should have said to the guy, where are you in your combine? How many wins did you do? How many club wins did you do? What's your percentage of birds in the top percent? He should have asked the guy that. But he's a new guy. He's going, I wouldn't want to ask that man that question.
I don't want to insult him.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So
I don't want to insult, insult the guy. But.
Okay, so Mike Parrish says two birds per person. Okay?
Two birds?
2 birds per
In
person.
the one-off race?
Yeah. So, well, we've had people say 2 birds, 6 birds, 10 birds, 5 birds, 5 birds, 6 birds.
That's where I would have a nomination one-off race. Where you take two birds
can I just keep reading this?
and put $1,000 a bird on
Okay.
each bird. That's what I would do.
Sure. I'd like that too. I'd love it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, why don't we just do 1 bird, $1,000 a bird?
Well, what's his name, Buddy, there that you went to see in Europe? Right? From the time he was a boy, he was trained himself. When they bet on birds, they had to pick birds.
Right,
The first bird.
But those are goddamn pigeon
They
wizards.
started from the beginning.
Right, but they start from the beginning.
And they lost a few bucks.
They lost lots of bucks.
I'm saying, hey.
Right, okay,
Yeah,
so-
2 birds, great.
Okay, can I keep reading? 5 bird team, 2 teams max, $500 perch fee, covers 1 bird team, 500 each, 100 miles. Okay. Chief says, "What's up? Learn to kill birds, even if they cost $100,000. That's easier said than done. Anyone can go to the AU website and look up results. I don't know. Maybe they're not in. Again, I don't know where Kristen's from. Maybe she's in the UK. Maybe it's a little tricky to find out. I don't know. I think Kristen is from the UK. Surge will kill cocks messing with nests or remove and breed in separate lofts. Yes, Surge will. Remember, if the cock's acting stupid for Surge and the cock's done nothing for him, he might eliminate it if you don't like it. But if it's a super cock, you're going to make the adjustments. The best pigeons generally don't look for fights. I don't know. I don't know.
We were watching the Secretariat racehorse there. When he's on that track, he looks for a fight. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say that's right or wrong. Christopher Bates, you are nice. You've been great with me. Hey, Chris is a newbie. Hey, I just try and shoot people the same way I shoot everyone's the same. I don't know, newbie or not. I don't know. I don't ask everyone, are you new or not? I like new people. New people are good. But I'll tell you got to learn. You know? Robert Daughtry, I did research for 2 years before my first race. Had great results that year. Did some research. And I don't think it's hard to win pigeon races. But you have to do your studying, do your researching, And again, I think you have to be a person that has a bit of a feel for it. A feel. There's a feel.
If you don't mind me saying, I think you're right with the feel. But I think successful pigeon flyers, okay, they never learned it out of a book or out of the internet. They may have picked up a few little things. But again, you can't learn. You can watch on the internet, but you really can't learn how to shift a racing car unless you drive the friggin' thing.
Right.
And figure it out what's going on.
But
you think you're
okay,
going into third
But
gear.
there are some people that learn how to drive cars, standards, way quicker than others. Why?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
They're just different people.
maybe they can pick that up. But they're a guy that learns from the school of hard knocks
Okay.
is going to be the guy that's going to blow your
Okay, let me
doors
keep
off.
reading. Can't relay judging pigeons on club results. There are too many variables. Win, location, drag. What's your opinion? Well, sure. In club results or in combine results, the wind is going to play a factor, but you have to. Your mind has to be open to that and understand that you can only win what the competition will allow you. So if the wind, the wind's not with you, it's way off and blows you off. You have to be the first guy in your area to get birds. Then you have to see, well, how strong was the wind? How far was I behind? Then you can judge a little bit. I think you can. Alfred says hello. Hey, Alfred, I seen those boxes, Alfred. I forgot to put them on. I'll bring them on for next week. I don't know. I don't think you need those boxes. Do you? The loft tours you do are the best information out there. And I find, guys, if you want to learn from the tours, sometimes the best thing is watch the videos multiple times. Like watch it, take a break, watch it again. Then in a week, watch it again. Because sometimes you pick up more stuff. You will find something that works for you. You will find, Mike Green says, you will find something works for you. Some of them work for you, some of them don't work for you. That's right. You got to find what works for you, even in the systems and what you're doing. I read that. Mike Parrish, what does a bird have to do to stay in your loft? You got to be consistent. You're looking for the consistent good pigeons. I think that's a simple thing. The birds that stay at the top in your loft, those are the ones that you're looking for. Pigeon that comes home second day every time out, that's just move on. Or pigeons that are lazy, or pigeons you're looking to keep the best that you can keep
Came late in the day,
in
every
your
time it
in
comes
your
late in the
percentage. And you can make your percentage in your loft. You can say, hey, if I only fly young birds, I'm going to keep the top 2 or 3 young birds of the year. The rest you're going to move on. I don't know. You have to figure out what you want. Antonio says 10 birds. Shane says, I think 6 bird teams are good. Each flyer limited to 1 team or more. When the best flyers move to a new location, they are still the best flyers. Proven all over. Drag nonsense. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe that. He's a good flyer and he moves, yeah.
Yeah,
Drag is...
I think good flyers will be good flyers anywhere. But again, a good flyer, when if he moves to a spot where it's, the winds aren't normally going that way.
The wind has an effect.
Right, okay.
If your pigeons come out of that hole and they're out and they get out right off the bat, they're creating a drag.
Okay, Premier League says, Antonio, much depends on how strong the club and fed is. Loft location can give a big advantage, especially in sprint racing. Many things to take into consideration, and I agree. That's right. Depends on the club, the combine. It depends on everything. Everything, it depends. I watch loft tours over and over again. Thank you. ABC Loft, why cocks take more than 1 box? Because you have more than 1 box probably in the loft.
You have
And
more than one box open.
you have more than one box open, and you'll get cocks that will take. They dominate. They dominate. They will take another cock and throw him out. He'll take 2 boxes. Then he'll take 3
They're
boxes.
like a human. They
Right.
want more property, more property, more. And if you give them room to take more property, you will. And if you have boxes with 2 doors, let's say side by side, you're more apt to get the stronger cock will take the other box, will dominate. If you have your holes opposite,
Yep.
less chance, right? Have your holes, have them different colors. Put pictures up in there. Whatever.
You even see cocks that take. If all the cocks are in nest boxes, let's say you had 8 cocks. 8 cocks,
They're all
all in boxes. Boom, 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 boom,
all
boom.
accommodated.
And all of a sudden, one cock, he decides he's going to make a nest on the floor. And you close his box, which is fine. Say, okay. That cock, his box now is the floor. And when anybody comes on the floor, he says
dominates the floor.
he dominates the floor. Pigeons are about territory. They like to take as much as they can take.
A lot of times, a bird that goes on the floor is a damn good pigeon.
I like pigeons that nest on the floor.
Right.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. Antonio says 7-bird team. Okay. One-hit wonders don't stay. No, one-hit wonders, they're one-hit wonders. They don't stay. David Tracy says beginners just need to be patient, and I think that's another thing. Don't get discouraged. Watch, pay attention to what winners are doing. I'm still learning at 37 years. And I think the patience is good. And if you're learning from real winners and you're willing to learn and understand and be quiet and listen, you are going to learn. And as Premier said, read the book from Ad Sherlockins. Go ahead, that's a great book to read. Now take that information from that book and listen to some winners and see if what Ad wrote, other people are using things. And you could say, did you ever read the Ad Sherlockins book? And they'll say, no. Well, how did you know how to do this? Well, I've been racing pigeons for 40 years and I learned this. I learned this. I learned that.
Just hold on a minute. Sherlockins wrote a book because he did. That's all. A good pigeon flyer.
Yes.
He put his shit into a book.
Right.
That means he's very knowledgeable. Very good. There's other people that have had pigeons for 40 years too. They're excellent people. They never wrote a book. Okay? They didn't have the balls to write a book. So what I'm saying is...
What we're saying is he wrote a book.
Yeah.
And he had some very good results. And he talked to a lot of top pigeon men.
That's right.
And he stole a lot of great information.
His mind
Absorbed it.
Absorbed
He
it.
didn't steal it. He absorbed it.
Exactly.
He tested it. He tried it. And he put it into his book. But he didn't... What I'm saying is, he learned it from other people. Boom, boom, boom. And then he tried it. He tweaked it. Boom.
That's how we
But we're not knocking that. That's a very good book.
I've heard of guys saying, my pigeons are damn stupid.
Hold on, we got more
They
comments.
come home from a race. You know what they do? They sit on the hydro wire up on top of my house.
Okay, let's.
Whatever.
Okay, can we just keep reading?
You know who's stupid?
You are.
The people are stupid.
Okay, Michael Peevler says 6 birds. 5 are for racing. 1 is a replacement. Okay. Mike Vanderiak speaking about secrets. Lofts. Hormonal is something that is often overlooked. Aggressive cocks are not good for a harmonious loft. Right? Well, again, I looked at the guy who was taking care of the pigeons. He was all over the place. So I'm not going to blame the cock.
The cock comes from a background
Hold on.
of widowhood strength.
Hold on. All I can say is you have to be in the situation to look at it. The bird was already breeding him good pigeons, and I think he made a bonehead move. I didn't go and look at his loft. I didn't go and look at it. I just said, I think you jumped the cheeseburger. Moving on. Premier League says, the higher the entry fee, the smaller the team. the better the quality of pigeons you receive. I think entry fee should be entry fee should be in most people's budget, especially those that have supported the Pioneer in the past. Does that make sense? Supported Pioneer OLR in the past. Okay. Well, what we think and what we've talked about is you got to have prize money and perch fee. Got to. That's a must. I don't care what the world of one loft racing is doing. Forget it. And I understand that, Premier League. I don't think anyone should work for free. I just don't think so. Even these big world one loft races, if you want to send birds to them, I think you got to pay. I do think, though, that prize money should come up front because you think about it. When does the one loft race officially start? It starts when your pigeon gets to that loft. And it goes in and it pollutes the other birds and it starts drinking and it takes a perch and it eats and it craps and it takes up aviary space. It takes everything. That pigeon has started at the casino. And I think, and if you take all these big one loft races, we could take the Hoosier. Let's use the Hoosier for America to take in 6,000 birds. Imagine if all the prize money came in at the start. Now the pigeons are flying for money. Now, they probably won't get 6,000 pigeons. They get 3,000 pigeons. But all the prize money's in. So, do you guys, here's another question. Do you think the perch fee and the prize money should come with the team of pigeons? Let's say 5 pigeons, $1,500. 5 pigeons, $2,000. I don't know. Should that all accompany the pigeons? So, the perch fees are paid, the prize money's paid, and the birds now work against each other. What do you think? Winners never stop learning. Brian Mansker, you hit that nail right on the head. Winners never stop learning. And another thing that winners do, they're always evolving. They don't rely on the old. They constantly bring in the new. They keep the old, but they add to it. Antonio Rodriguez says, big secret on racing pigeons, send cocks when they are driving the hens. Now that's funny. You don't like that.
Well, especially a yearling cock. And if he hasn't dropped a round of youngsters, and he's driving, he's wasting a lot of energy driving, number one. And number two, mentally, he is not focused. He is not focused. And I don't believe they don't do it.
Yes.
If he raises a round of youngsters, it's a little different because he's settled in and he may be driving his hen a bit. Okay. But if he hasn't not done that and he's driving like a crazy fool, he's burning energy and he's burning up here. His concentration is not where it's supposed to be.
Right.
You get me?
Right. And I agree. I think driving, the driving most of the time, Antonio, you tell me how many times you've done it and you've got a real good success. I think a lot of times when the young cocks are driving, their mind is in love land, and I think sometimes, most of the time, they're not focused.
And energy, they just burn themselves out.
Shit, they're pumping the car hard. I think you're right. Mike Parrish, do we have pigeon bingo? Yes, we're gonna do another pigeon bingo. I gotta figure out how and when I'm gonna do it. We still got one. If you paid into the last one, we will do it. Mike Vanderyak says, all fees up front when the birds are sent. I like that idea. Premier League, thank you, Premier, for the compliment. I think this is. I followed and enjoyed the Pioneer OLR for the last 2 years and look forward to following it for my third. You got to get some birds in there, though, this year, Premier. Mike Vanderyak says, I don't like driving cocks. Keep them home. That's what I think.
Especially a yearling.
Yeah.
A yearling, watch out. If you got a young cock he's a young bird, but he's old enough he's matured. A young guy.
No good either.
No, he just you're gonna just lose it.
I don't think it's the best. But hey.
If you got him together, hens and cocks, and he starts driving like crazy, he's a youngster. He's 6 months old, 7 months old. He's starting to drive like crazy. I think, I think Mike's right.
And then the other question is prize money. Here's another question. Do people like one final race with all the prize money? Or do people like a series of races based on average speed?
But what you're saying is a series of races. So it would be 8 races in a season, or 7, or 6, or 5.
Yeah, let's say between 6 and 9 races.
Okay, 6 races. So what you're saying is the first race, every race would be based on average speed at the final end.
For the end. So
but
only
race number 1 would be 100 miles, let's say. 150 miles. Race number 1 would be the first, second, or third, or fourth bird would win some money, but also their average speed would be calculated for the next race, the next race, and the next race.
Right.
If that pigeon wins again the next race, he wins another $100,
right.
and his average speed bonuses to him.
So
right?
at the end of the 6 races,
Yeah.
you would pay, let's say, instead of paying in a final 300-mile race where the top 50 pigeons make money,
Yeah.
you would say, we're going to pay the top 50 average speed pigeons. So if normally a 350-mile race, the winner wins $100,000, the first average speed would win $100,000.
I like the idea of having the races, maybe 6 or 8 races, and gives a chance for every week somebody to win some money. And if their birds keep doing the same job, he's going to win more money again and more money again, right?
Right. Well, yeah,
I think it's
or take all the prize money. You can do it this way: take all the prize money out of all the races, and base it on average speed at the end. So the pigeons, to win money, they've got to be the ace pigeons. Not, I got lucky at 300 miles one time and I won $50,000.
The lucky, what do you call that? A one-time wonder.
One hit wonder. Mike Vaynerchuk says payout should be based on final race. So Mike's saying final race.
You mean only have one race
Right.
at the end?
Yeah, so that means we're basing it on basically a group of not one hit wonders, but one.
Yeah.
So that's what Mike thinks. Scott Parrish says he likes average speed idea. I like it too. ABC Loft says the system that takes less time but is effective.
Less time that
For young birds, you're going to have to put time into them. Because young birds, the more work you do with young birds, the better it is. I mean, darkening system, I think, is the best for young birds, by far. But you got to work them. If you don't work them enough, you're not... And working them means not only loft flying them as training, but road training them, and putting in the right time with them per day.
if you don't darken, you got to work those youngsters. They got
Hold on.
to fly you got to fly in the morning.
Okay, we're not going through a whole system.
Yeah,
We
but-
told you. There's no system that you just sprinkle some feed and it works. Got to put time in. Whatever system you're doing. Michael Parrish says hello. Okay, we're getting back to this. Rosedale says bullshit. Rosedale, what is bullshit? Mike Parrish. So a bird that wins the last race doesn't get anything. No.
No, he should get.
Okay, hold on. If you're building a race on average speed, that means every race, those birds are collecting their time,
Their effort. Yeah.
and it will be paid out in the end. And I'm saying
That's average
the
speed.
the ace pigeon of the whole tournament, he wins the most money. Then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth.
But he also.
But on the final race, that ace pigeon
if he still wins the race,
No, that ace pigeon could have come 20th at the final race. But he won the other 6 races.
he won the average speed. But if the ace pigeon that is leading in average speed, he's going to win the average speed at the end if he's the ace. But if he also wins the race,
Well, that's
he
if you put prize money into each of the races.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
But that's what you're talking about. I'm saying
You're not going to put prize money on each of the races?
I didn't say that I'm not going to. I said
It
you
gives-
got so much prize money.
It gives people a chance to win a
I
bit
under-
of money from
I
start
un-
one
okay.
race up to 8.
I understand that. But when you have race 1 to 8, you pay first, second, and third in each race.
That's right.
Okay. You got to have money to pay each race.
Well, that's where you take.
Then you
it-
got to have money to pay average speed.
That's where you take the money, and that's where
Right.
you take the money,
Well-
and again, somebody says, I think Mike said it, should pay everything up front, and that so much goes to perch fee, so
Right.
much goes to prize money.
Right.
Okay, it makes common sense.
Right.
When you put
I
you go into a hockey league.
understand. I don't need a story on
No,
it.
but what Mike
I know,
says-
but I don't
Mike's
need a
right.
story on it.
No, he's right.
I don't need a story though on it.
You don't say, if my kid don't make it to the final cup, I'm not paying. He pays right from the start
We get
right
that.
to the end.
Right, we get that.
That's it.
We get that.
Right.
I'm just saying, some races pay the final race.
Some do that.
Right, the final race. They pay all the prize money out.
And this is why we talked about 8 races where you get so many
Right.
first, second, third, fourth maybe. They win a little bit. They win some money. But at the end, they also win another few dollars more at the very end.
Right. But again, you have to then make sure you take enough teams in, and you have to make sure you take enough prize money in. You can't have everything. Right? But when you look at an 8-race series, it's not 300 miles and it's over. Pigeons that worked 8 weeks. There are pigeons that are better than the pigeon that wins the 300 miles. There's probably going to be a pigeon that's better than that bird that won the 300 miles.
You think I'm stupid?
I know you're not stupid.
That's it. Now, get this, guys. If this was a club, him and I'd be thrown out.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. So
Now it
can I
is.
just keep reading before the comments jump? I don't know why the system does this. It drives me nuts. Mike Vandriak says people don't want to win small amounts each week. They want to follow their birds over the season and then fly for a big jackpot at the end, in my opinion. But can jackpot mean average speed, or does jackpot mean the final race? So people don't want small money. You guys want small money? I don't know. Michael Peevler, there will be... Okay, sorry, I read that. These are the same comments. Trying to find new comments because now it's doubling over. Thicksburg team. Okay. There's more comments coming in. So, I think we pretty much got here to the end, but again, these were all things that we're thinking about. How big should your team be? How much money should you ask for people up front? How do you set up a prize structure to make people happy? Do people want 3 races, 6 races, 8 races, 10 races? Do you have prize money in all the races? Do you have activation fees? Do you take all the money up front? That's the questions. There's so many little questions. What is it? What is right? And again, the loft guys that do the work, they got to get paid too. That's for sure.
Hey,
Hope that's a donut.
I need a new set of tires on my pickup truck, otherwise I can't train them, you know what I mean? It all
Right.
comes out of expenses.
And this is what you have to think of when you're setting it up. But, hey, I think this was a pretty good show. Did we talk about anything tonight? Yeah, we did. Talked a little bit about everything. power, or knowledge is power, as I say. So you learn slow and steady, I think. Ask a lot of questions, but ask the right people. I don't see any more comments, so I think we're gonna wrap this up. We'll be on what's today's date? There goes Murray. Today's date's what?
19th.
Today's the 19th.
18th.
So when's the next? I'm just looking here, guys. Okay, so 18th. So the next family show will be Christmas Eve.
What?
The 25th. No, Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day we'll be back on. What the hell? We're going to come on for you people, because what else are we going to do?
So Christmas
So-
Day is a week today.
Yeah, Christmas Day or a week away. Payout, at least these comments move, but payout should be based on the final race. Okay, Jay-Z says hello. All right. 18, I don't know. I'm on. Anyways, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Have a good Christmas. We'll be on next week. Shane Dennis says, I think a good idea is to collect the money when the birds arrive. Hey, I think that's good too. All right, guys. That's Ricky. I'm Ryan.
You know what they say, keep your sticks on the ice.
Keep your sticks on the ice and keep your four wheels on the road.
That's right. Remember,
And keep both your Crocs on the ground.
look straight ahead.
Four ways on. We'll talk to you guys next Monday night. Thanks, guys. We're going to wrap this up, and see you next week. Bye for now.
Too much, man. What are you doing, Al? You look like you want to go to bed, Al.